Hello. Welcome back to another episode of A Dose of Sass. We are back with another Is It Diet Culture episode. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. And I didn't plan this, but all of today's Is It Diet Culture topics are C letter words. So I'm calling this the 4Cs episode. I may throw a couple bonus ones in there, but like most of the ones I'm talking about today are all C words. And I just think that's fun. So, if you're new to this episode series, this is a little series where I break down like wellness and health and diety trends that I see on the internet and whether or not they are full of garbage because most of the time they are. But in this corner of the internet, we add a little nuance. So let's get sassy about it. The internet is becoming a scary place again. Especially, I stopped posting on TikTok. Like, I have one because I like to scroll, but I'm not posting there anymore. So I'm spending way, way less time on TikTok. And I've actually been spending more time scrolling on Instagram Reels, which is like an absolute wasteland. That I'm blessed by the TikTok algorithm being so curated to my taste, and the Instagram Reels algorithm is just not there. Maybe because I just haven't spent the time to curate it yet, but also just because I I think it's just worse. But ultimately, I haven't told Instagram my tastes enough for it to serve me what I want to see. So I'm seeing a lot of things that I don't normally see, which is also kind of difficult for my brain because I've gotten so used to not having to consume so much diet culture, so much weight loss content, so much whatever on TikTok because I've told TikTok I'm not interested in that. But Instagram doesn't know that yet. It should, considering what my platform is about, but it doesn't. The amount of weight loss ads I've gotten in the Instagram Reels tab is insane for medications, supplements, programs, all sorts of things. I've had to like report so many ads. So that being said, I feel like on one hand, I'm a little bit more in touch with the current wellness trends that are happening because Instagram Reels is showing them to me, but also I wish I wasn't because I really hate to look at it, but I'm like, okay, fine, I'll talk about this on the podcast. So here we are. The first one I'm going to throw out there is a light one. The rest I have to be like a little bit more scientific about. The first one we're going to talk about is cottage cheese. And obviously, I'm not talking about just cottage cheese. The food, is it diet culture? That's not the question. What I am going to talk about is like the protein craze. Why are we all so crazy about protein right now? And do we really need to be worried about 135 grams of protein or however much it is that people say you need? Let's get into it. I've talked about protein before and protein supplements and powders and protein shakes and all of that. Do we need to be eating that much protein? Yes and no. If someone's telling you you need 300 grams of protein a day, no, you do not. The general consensus is that like it's 0.36 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I should be aiming for somewhere of upwards of 200 grams of protein a day. That's not going to happen for me. But that doesn't mean that I'm not hitting, like, I'm not getting enough protein. Protein needs are going to vary per person, per age, per activity level, per gender. Like, it varies, like a lot of things vary per person, and everyone has different goals. Where I start to take issue with protein, like every other wellness trend, diet culture, food trend on the internet, is people neglect everything else. They focus so hard on getting enough protein in the day that they're literally not eating fruits and vegetables. They're eating protein cookies and protein shakes and protein bars and all of these like ultra processed forms of protein and not like meat, natural occurring sources of protein, things that have protein and other nutrients. Because, spoiler alert, we need other things. Shocker, surprise. And the other thing is they get so hung up on meeting their protein goals that they overeat in the name of protein. Like I've seen so many TikToks, and like obviously these are not videos that I seek out. It's usually people like stitching these videos, but videos of people going, oh, it's 11 p.m. and I haven't hit my protein goal, so now I'm going to have this 40 grams of protein brownie. Like, is that really doing what you think it's going to do? People will overstuff themselves with protein in the name of hitting their protein goals instead of like listening to their body, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water. Protein is important, yes, but it's not that crazy. And the other thing is, I think it's really interesting to explore how the trend used to be like, how little calories can I get in a day? And now it's like, how much protein can I get in a day? We've decided that protein is like this be all end all magic that we need to have as much of it as possible. And if you're not eating 30 grams of protein at every single meal or every single snack, then you're doing it wrong. It's not true, first of all. What's important is balance. protein, carbs, fat. We need all of the things that people are putting in every single recipe on the internet. I haven't seen a single, I was looking up healthy dinner recipes, and unfortunately, healthy is like such a polluted word on the internet. Nobody even knows what that means anymore. I was just trying to get dinner ideas that were like a meat and a vegetable and a carb, okay? And every single recipe was like high protein pasta with chicken and like 10 scoops of cottage cheese. Hello? First of all, I don't want to eat that. Second of all, where are the vegetables? Help! Get me out of cottage cheese corner of the internet. You can have crackers that aren't made of cottage cheese. You can have pasta sauce that's not mixed with cottage cheese. You can have a peach by itself without cottage cheese. Like, I have seen so much cottage cheese that I have tried to, I've almost been influenced to try it. Listen, I bought it even, and I couldn't bring myself to do it because I think it looks nasty and smells nasty, and I don't even want to taste it. I think I tasted it once as a child and I went, absolutely not, that's gross. I won't be doing it again. But I have been so tempted to try to mix it into my pasta sauce to hit my some arbitrary high protein goal. The chicken on your pasta is enough. You're gonna be cool. You're gonna be great with that. It's okay if your dinner is not 70 grams of protein. Okay? Let's cool it with the cottage cheese, everybody. Is it diet culture? No. But if you're going crazy trying to meet a protein goal, and listen, because here's the thing. If you're in touch with your body, if you're aware of your relationship with food, with your body, if you have the ability to listen to what your body wants and needs, which is hard to get to, I understand, you will understand where the natural like protein limit is. If it's an incredible stretch for you every day to try to hit 200 grams of protein, you're probably okay not doing that. And listen, general disclaimer for this entire episode, I am not a medical professional. I'm not a health professional. I'm not a nutrition professional. So please take all of this advice with a grain of salt. If you're easily hitting 100 grams of protein and you want to stretch it a little bit, okay. But if you're easily hitting 100 grams or something, you're probably fine. Now, if you notice that you rarely have protein throughout the day, let's maybe aim to have a little bit more because we all need it. But that doesn't need to come in the form of protein shakes and protein cookies and protein brownies. And you can make a dessert without making it a protein dessert. You can have a pasta with some chicken on top without making it a protein pasta. Okay, let's be real. Cool it with the cottage cheese. The next C on our list is chlorophyll. This is one that's been around for a hot minute. It's not necessarily new. I think one of my coworkers was talking about it in like 2020 probably. So it's been around for a minute. Do we need it? If you're unfamiliar with chlorophyll, you've probably heard it in your middle school science class when we learned about photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is what makes plants green. And people are putting liquid versions of this in their water and drinking it like a green supplement. People are taking capsule versions of this in supplement form. Do we need it? The answer is no. The short answer is no, but let me explain. The thing about supplements, and the next thing I'm going to talk about is a supplement as well, is the girlies on the internet will sell you anything. They will tell you that this is the one thing that fixed every single problem in their life. And if you're not doing this, what are you doing? So let's peel the envelope back a smidge and ask ourselves, why are they telling me this? Is it because they're trying to sell me something? Probably. Is it because they're already thin and they assume that you're trying to be thin and they're equating thinness with health? Probably. The thing about supplements is that people will sell them to you. People will promote a single item, a single supplement, a single substance as a cure-all, a fix-all, a magic potion, and maybe it has helped them in some way. I'm not discounting everybody and everybody's individual results, but oftentimes they're promoting these things in replacement for like actual food. Do you have a leaky gut or do you just not eat enough? Is this supplement promoting hair growth or do you have hair loss from years and years of insane restriction? Hot girls don't have stomach issues. Hot girls have eating disorders. And I'm not diagnosing every girl on the internet, but there are so many wellness and fitness influencers that will promote to you a tiny substance that will fix all of your problems when what you actually probably need to be focusing on is eating enough, drinking water, managing your stress, going the heck to sleep. Chlorophyll is not going to do anything different than vegetables. Do you need a chlorophyll supplement or do you need to eat some leafy greens? Like, internet girlies will do anything but eat food. They'll take 75,000 supplements instead of like a balanced plate. They'll take 17 greens powders and eat 250 grams of protein instead of like a taco salad and going to bed. You don't have a chlorophyll deficiency. That's not something we have in our bodies. And let me remind you that if someone's selling it to you on the internet and it's not something that you're aware of a deficiency before, it's probably not something that you need. I've seen people talk about this when just talking about general de-influencing of products. If it's not a need you recognized before, it's probably not something that you need. The things that you actually need are the things that don't need to be marketed to you, like toothpaste, deodorant. Now, obviously, those things you can vary in preference of those items, but you already know you need them in the first place. Nobody has to convince you to brush your teeth. If you didn't know about chlorophyll beforehand, if your doctor wasn't telling you you're deficient in it, you probably don't need it. And it's probably just a girly on the internet trying to sell you a supplement so that she can make money. Is it diet culture? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, eat some plants. Next, the next C on our list, colostrum. Another supplement that I'm seeing everywhere on the internet, specifically the brand Armra. Armra colostrum, you've probably seen. What is colostrum? It is the nutrients that a baby gets, a baby mammal, whether that be animal or human, gets in their first feeding from their mother. So with their breast milk, cow's milk, all of the nutrients that come in that first lactation milk feeding is like loaded with lots of nutrients. It's got a fun word I like to say, aminoglobulins. Ooh, sounds like goblins. Aminoglobulins. It's got a lot of immune boosting benefits. It's got basically all the things you think a freshly newborn mammal needs. And it has great benefits for babies. Do we need to be taking it as adults? First of all, there have not been studies of the effects of colostrum in adults. So already take that with a grain of salt. And my second piece of advice, along with chlorophyll, if it's not something that you realized you needed before, you probably don't need it now. But especially if you're seeing a single brand, I think I said this about when I talked about greens powders, AG1, Bloom. If you are seeing a single brand such as Armra being promoted by everyone, they are being paid to do so. This is not a magic scientific solution that the earth just discovered. This is an influencer being paid to promote something. Now, I'm not saying that they're lying. It can improve your immune function. It can help with your energy levels. It can have a lot of nutrients and things in it that our body likes and needs. But that brand specifically, you're not seeing it everywhere because, oh my gosh, you're missing out and this is the new frontier. No, you're seeing it everywhere because they're paying for ads. They want you to see it everywhere. They want you to feel like you're missing out on not taking it. Even I texted my friend the other day and was like, hey, what do we know about colostrum? Is that a thing I should be taking? Sure. Is it going to harm you? Probably not. Is it a thing that you need? Probably not. I hate to break it to you, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is my favorite thing to say about supplements. If you can afford, because these things are not cheap, chlorophyll, colostrum, greens powders, cottage cheese. If you can afford these supplements in the first place, you're probably already able to afford healthier foods than the average American, average person, and therefore you're probably already healthier than the average person. If you can afford to buy an $80 a month greens powder, then buy some fresh frickin' fruits and vegetables. Because fruits and vegetables aren't cheap these days. Please, if you are debating between fresh fruits and vegetables and a supplement being sold to you from an influencer on the internet, pick the real food. Oh my gosh, not even a competition. It just needs to be said, you're not unhealthy if you're not taking Armra colostrum every day. Okay, you're not behind. That FOMO you feel is intentional. It's paid for. It's not a magic cure-all solution. You know what is magical? Eating enough, eating fruits and vegetables, drinking water, moving your body, going to sleep. Here's the thing, guys. Hate to break it to you, but regular health information, the real health information, is boring. It's not interesting. You know what it is. I just said it. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Eat some protein. Eat a variety of foods. Move your body sometimes. Add some strength training in there. Get enough sleep. Manage your stress. Bottom line, that's the key to health. But that doesn't sell supplements. That doesn't aid capitalism. That doesn't invent an insecurity that we can sell. We can create a product to market you from an insecurity we made up, a deficiency we made up. That's not sexy information. That's not clickbait information. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Oh, we all know that, but no, we aren't doing it. Nobody's doing it enough. Instead, we're taking 75,000 supplements. Okay? Here's an idea. Eat some damn breakfast. Stop eating only coffee and then the tiniest lunch you can find and then a big dinner and then wondering why you don't feel good. No, it's not because you're not taking chlorophyll. Okay? Is colostrum diet culture? Kind of. Yeah. Does it have real, like anything that I've said in these episode series, does it have real benefits? Probably. But do you need it? Probably not. Do you need to spend your money on it? No. Let me de-influence you from that. Okay. The last C on today's list is the latest buzzword, and that's cortisol. Ooh, haven't we all become experts on cortisol lately? Where the heck has that come from? I think we all have a general understanding of what cortisol is, but if you aren't familiar, cortisol is the name for your stress hormone, what causes stress in your body. Now, let me be clear. We're supposed to have cortisol. We are supposed to have, especially as women, if you're a woman, we are naturally supposed to have spikes and dips throughout our day. 100% absolutely normal with your body. What we're trying to avoid and what people are talking about on the internet is consistent elevated levels of cortisol. So if you have a spike and it stays like that all day, that's a little bit concerning. But that's not what the girlies are talking about. No, they are trying to tell you to be afraid of any form of cortisol, any form of stress. Now, they're not wrong. Stress on the body is harmful. In fact, it is the most harmful thing on our body. It causes a lot of problems. But you know what causes chronic stress? Dieting, yo-yo dieting, restriction, extremes, stress about food choices, stress about your lifestyle. That's going to cause you to have cortisol problems. And what's absolutely full of garbage, what's absolutely just the dumbest thing I've seen on the internet lately is people talking about cortisol face or cortisol belly, or if you have a rounder face or like fat in your face, fat in your belly, that's your cortisol and you need to get rid of it. And here I'm going to tell you how. It's a supplement you could buy from TikTok shop. Ding, ding, ding. It's diet culture. Are we surprised? No. Cortisol. Balancing your hormones is not something that's going to be achieved from a $20 TikTok shop supplement. Like, let's be for real. I just told you that the unsexy nutritional and health information is managing your stress. We should all try to manage our stress. But that's not as fun as saying, are you worried about cortisol spikes and you have a cortisol face? Here's something to fix it immediately, right now in this second. Nobody wants to hear, hey, manage your stress in your life. Again, that's not marketable. That's not sellable. I can't sell a supplement for that. I can sell a supplement for something we've made up called cortisol face. And in case it's not clear, it's not a thing. Okay? It's completely made up. It's a piece of garbage. If you are concerned about your levels of cortisol, you can go get a test from the doctor. But what also you can do is manage your blood sugar spikes. And how do you do that? Eating some damn food. Eating breakfast. Eating frequent meals. You know what causes cortisol spikes? Skipping meals. People would literally be doing anything but eating. Here's a supplement to manage your cortisol. You know what you could do instead? Eat lunch. You know what costs way less money? Eating lunch. And people like to say morning coffee is what causes a cortisol spike, especially drinking it on an empty stomach. Now, that might be true, but that doesn't mean we need to cut out morning coffee. I don't care if you drink coffee. I don't care when you drink coffee. What I do care about is that you're also eating. Coffee is not a meal replacement. It's normal when you start your day with coffee to have a suppressed appetite, and therefore it will cause a blood sugar spike. But how we can prevent that is pairing your coffee with a balanced meal. Let's have some breakfast. You don't need to do a workout routine to manage your cortisol. You don't need a supplement to manage your cortisol. You don't need to balance your hormones. You don't need to take colostrum and get 70,000 grams of protein. You do need to eat enough, drink some water, get some sleep, and move your body. Let's do that first before any of these crazy trends, because they're trends. And yes, they're diet culture. Okay. That's all I have for you today. I have more things I can add, but I'm going to save them for later because I like the fact that these are all C words. This is a bit of a quicker one today, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a little bit of a laugh and maybe I de-influenced you from spending your money on silly things. You're going to be fine. Don't let the internet tell you otherwise. Okay. Love you lots. Talk to you soon.